Do you want to know what Slack is all about and curious how to use it for your recruiting? Stick around, we'll talk about that. Hey everyone, and welcome to this episode of Salesforce for Recruiters. I'm your host as always, Brad Owens, and I was just like you. I was a recruiter for well over a decade using all these various pieces of technology that never really fit what I wish they could do for my business. And then I saw Salesforce and I went, where has this been all my life? And since then, I've dedicated my career to helping both Salesforce and recruiters understand this platform and what it can actually do for their business. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about Slack. You may have heard about it. You may have heard about just the very basics of what it can do, but we're going to dig in depth and we're going to talk a little bit more about this. So let's start with the basics. What is Slack? Well, Slack at its core, and I don't mean this to diminish its abilities because it is far more capable than this, is a communication platform. It allows you to talk to your business. And I say business on purpose because it's not just talking to individuals. It's not just talking to your teams. It's not just maybe having a video chat or an audio chat. This is more about communicating with your business. This could be digital labor that you have working for you. This could be AI agents that you've got working in your business. This could be the actual data that exists inside your business. So it's allowing you to communicate with your business. And that's what really starts separating it from the competition. Because when you think about the Microsoft Teams experience or Google Chat or whatever it is you're using to talk to your teams, this isn't just let's send a message back and forth to make sure that they're online or, hey, I've got a question while I'm on this call. It's not that. Yes, it does that, but oh my gosh, it can do so much more. And that's what we're going to dig into today is all the true capabilities of this platform. So I think the best way for me to start explaining what Slack can really do is to take you on a product tour of Slack. And this is directly off of their website, but I'm going to talk through it a little bit more so that you understand the details behind this and why recruiters may see this as actually valuable. So we're going to click in and start our tour. And the first thing they're going to show you is the direct message interface. And what you're seeing here is the ability to talk back and forth to an individual. So these are your direct messages. Now, in addition to that, you also have channels. So channels can incorporate a whole lot of different people that you have the ability to add. So you can add coworkers just by adding them into your individual channel. Now, by doing that, all of these people have access to everything that has happened in this channel. So you have the ability to talk to your teammates. You can always add someone in at different points in time and they can see that entire channel. And you now have the ability to work your way through a specific project, or in our case as recruiters, the way that I see people using this is through a specific account or through a specific job that they're working on. That's where channels start coming in handy, is because everyone that's involved in working on a specific job, you can talk about that job in this channel. If at any point you want to bring in someone else, you can, and they have all the same data that everyone else has on working through this job. So it's not just happening in silos. You can truly collaborate with everyone that can work on a job by working in a channel. I also see recruiting teams getting a whole lot of value out of what's called a canvas. Now, a canvas inside of Slack is just a place to collaborate. It's not just this channel that you can have conversations. It's a place to actually put things like files, like job descriptions, like candidate profiles, like the special links that everyone needs to have access to. So by keeping all this data in one place, it keeps your team aligned with what is actually important. So if you have your job description and your candidate profiles and your hiring manager updates all in one specific canvas, it brings your team all on the same page with the same data. It removes that silo for them. Now, a big key differentiator for Slack is its integrations and the different types of data that you can start bringing into Slack and interacting with. In our case, specifically for this channel, what we're interested in is the Salesforce data. So you can see here that we've been in an account. We've been in this account for Beta Corp. Now with Beta Corp, we can connect directly to their Slack information. And now we have all of the ability to pull in our Salesforce data. And we can pull in contacts, we can pull in accounts, we can all be on the same page as what's happened with this particular account or with this individual because we're connected to Salesforce inside of Slack. And I can just, with a click, pull up all the information directly from Salesforce. Now, this is a big key indicator of where the future of Slack is going to go. I didn't have to log into Salesforce. I'm pulling Salesforce data into Slack, and now I can manipulate it and do things with it and interact with it and share it with other people. And now you're starting to see the power of where Slack kind of differentiates itself from all of these others if you're using Salesforce, because all that data is coming inside of Slack. Now, there's two capabilities of Slack that I want to focus on specifically for the leadership audience that we've got here. So first off, I want to show you workflows, and then I want to show you recaps. So a workflow inside of Slack gives you the ability to create an automation without using code. You're simply just going to the templates potentially here in your workflow builder. You have the ability to select things like do this automatically, send this message automatically, prompt people for this type of information automatically. Think about all of the back and forths and all of the daily stand-ups and all of the requests for status updates that you have to do on a daily basis. All of that can be automated here, and that's just the very basics of what you can do. Now, second, I want to call your attention to what Slack calls a recap. Now, a recap inside of Slack gives you the ability to say, I want to pay attention to all of these different channels, but I don't truly need to actually be involved or send messages back and forth. With a recap, you have the ability to set channels as your recap summary of the day. And every single day when you log in, you'll have a recap of all of those different channels, what's going on. So what your team's working on, maybe what sort of hiring updates there are, where they might be getting stuck. And you get all those updates just as a part of every single day when you're drinking your coffee. You can scroll through your recap. So it gives you the ability to understand what's going on without having to be down in the weeds of each and every single channel. Now you've got a solid understanding of what Slack is, but I want to show you what Slack could be for you. So most people don't take their Slack usage to this next level, and I think this is what's going to truly unlock it for recruitment and where they should be thinking about taking their Slack usage. So I want to give you an insight into what Salesforce has shown in their Agentforce 2.0 demonstration. So during that keynote, they pulled up Slack and specifically recruitment use case. So here we are inside of Adecco's actual Slack environment. And you can see here in this environment that they're in a channel for a project manager position they're trying to fill. So what's happened is there is an AI agent that's working for them inside of Slack where they're interacting with their business, not just the individuals that they're talking to. So that AI agent was able to look through all the applicants from last night, source the top 3, and present them as, hey, here's 3 new pieces of talent that you should start your day with. Can you imagine if you had what we talked about previously as the recap showing you all of these new qualified people that applied overnight, and you're able to start your day with the right people rather than going into your ATS and sorting through all of that data? Just because you have Salesforce that's pulling in that data for you and it's synced to Slack, you have the ability to surface the right kind of data at the right time because you're using Slack. So let's go into this use case and show you what they're actually going to do. So here they are. They're in their channel. They're going to pull up these 3 potential people that are a good fit. So now they need to schedule it. Well, we typically have to go back and forth with email, but instead we can just interact with this agent and say, hey, schedule something for me. It's going to go back and forth with this candidate and schedule something. And not only that, you can interact with it and say, give me some interview questions. So now it's combing through what is the job description and those applicants, and it's coming up with the potential interview questions that this individual can use. So that's the power of what's coming in Slack. If you like this kind of use case, I went through this in depth on my last video of talking about truly what is Agentforce and what it can do for you for recruiting. So check out that video. I will link it in the description here so you can actually see more about that. But this is just to give you an idea of what Slack is capable of. I hope that gives you some insight into what Slack can truly do for you and your business. Now, Slack isn't something that typical Salesforce users are making the most of, so I wanted to just use this as a 101. Now, if this is something that you're really interested in and you want to learn more, I'm happy to bring on an expert in Slack to help educate both of us a little bit more on what Slack can do for you. But this video should serve enough to be able to give you an understanding of what are its features, what are the basics that Slack can really do, and what's possible if you're a power user making the most of Slack. So this is not just a conversation tool. This is a tool to interact with your business. It's your work operating system. And that's what Slack's going to turn into. So you should be paying attention to Slack. If you like this kind of content, there is plenty more at salesforceforrecruiters.com. I want to help you get the most out of Salesforce because it truly changed what I thought technology could do for recruiting when I got involved in Salesforce. So salesforceforrecruiters.com is where you can go for that information. If you've got any questions you want me to answer directly, please send them in to me. It's hello@bradowens.com, the best email for me. So it's hello@bradowens.com. I want to thank you for making it to the end of the video. I hope we'll see you on the next video. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.